Hello, LEGO lovers. This is L, and I know it's been a little while since I've made some videos. I did a little update video, information in there a little bit, but I'm excited to get back into doing videos. And as you can see, this is a VIDIYO, maybe I'm saying it wrong, LEGO set, and this is set number 43102, the Candy Mermaid BeatBox, with 71 pieces, and this is a new theme that I really wish was a mini doll theme. Numerous different side stories about that, but I did want to get one of these because I was curious on the parts, because there's a lot of weird parts and stuff going on. $20. The box is kind of interesting. It's like a perfect square. I don't know if that's cool or not. Lots of colorful stuff going on here. Yep, and there's an app which I'm not going to talk about. You can go check that out. Basically, it's kind of neat. I did play around with it. Had some issues. Not my thing. The worst part is probably that you can actually use the app without having any of the stuff, and you don't have to buy anything to get any of the characters. So, but this is all the parts in the set. It's $20 only, and I want to get in depth on kind of what we got here. But let's get some of this stuff out of the way. First up, you don't get this big purple piece. I just grabbed it so we can look at the tiles I got in here. There's a little glare there. But as you can see, we'll start up here. We have lots of interesting tiles. And yep, I don't know how I feel about them. Obviously, you can use them for records, maybe some signs, etc. A lot of them are music or dance-based, as you can see. That one's sleeping-based, apparently. Crazy Pandas. Now, I like them. They're very colorful. It looks like they tried to use their own font, kind of, to make it look like, you know, fake language that LEGO is. Yep, they're pretty good prints. Weird, but you might have a use for them. One of the things I can see using them for is just signs. Pretty much the main thing that I think they can be used for. It's hard to say if I have any good plans to use any of these for. This is just a lot of prints. Unfortunately, they're all the same size, which is kind of unfortunate. But, I mean, like this, you could use for like a welding place, a dance store, buy sports or something, you know. There's different uses. They are high quality prints. You can scan them with the app. But yeah, that's all the ones you get in this one. I think there might be some random assortment. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, those are all the prints that you get here. I think my favorite out of all of these might be this one, because it's just colorful and you could use it for whatever pretty much. But yeah, so that's all the prints. But let's get into what I think is the interesting stuff, and that is the brick separator. Nah, just kidding. Although I would like to point out, I found it very interesting that we actually got brick separator in one of these. I don't know why. So one of the things is, let's get the generic parts out of the way. Obviously, this is a color palette that I like. If you've watched any of my videos, getting some of these tiles in this color is a little uncommon, so that's nice. I don't remember seeing magenta circular tiles, so that's kind of cool to get. We even have one of my favorite type of 1x2 rounded plates in white, but there's just one of them. And some other stuff, but let's get into the more interesting stuff. First of all, something that's a bit more basic is this new, if I can get the coloring to look right. It's not doing it for me. But as you can see, let me bring the brightness down if I can. No, I can't. Alright, kind of fix that. But you can kind of see here that we have the 3x3 rounded aqua type part. Just a really kind of awkward part. I think that perhaps that these were specifically designed for this, but I can't say for sure. I've seen them already in a friend set, but this comes in this aqua, and as you can see, you got a hole through it, 4 studs, and you have the circular kind of connection that they will use. So, but that's a basic part, and this is what they connect to. So you would put it like here, and they actually will pop in there, and as you can see, they can spin. Should be easy to pop out. And more with this part, it connects to that. So let's get into the bigger parts. First of all, the back. This is where you would hold all of your beat bits, whatever they're called. They are somewhat loose. They're not going to stay in there. However, that means you can use this to slide in plates or other tiles and perhaps use this for that aspect. Otherwise, you can see we have studs on each corner, and we also have a back which also has studs. And I got this piece here so we can kind of check out how it can connect. So as you can see, it can completely connect on the back, and then it should easily be able to fully connect if you want on this side. Yep, and it's actually fairly loose on that side. One thing that I didn't think of testing, but is if you can put like a perfect plate in there, because like I said, you can see how a plate could possibly go in there. So there might be use for that. But another note for this, because I am a curious type of person, this is the exact same profile as these Lego Super Mario parts. So that might be a positive, might be nothing, but I think it's just nice that this matches the profile of those. So then you can utilize these to build stacks more so, or just that it's interesting that they do match up. So I think that's actually pretty cool. So this part obviously is in a color I like. And it's just interesting. I'm sure people can think of uses for it. A hot tub would be a quick, easy one to use. But I don't know if there's really any connection type stuff you can put in there, unfortunately. But an interesting part to say the least. So let's look at the cover of that, which is this clear part. So as you can see, the front is clear, except for we kind of got that dip right there where the mold was, and the side is more kind of, I don't know, scuffed, so it's not fully see-through. And then how that connects is just kind of a tension connection that it can go on the side, and it just actually kind of, if I can line it up, kind of pops and clips. And you can't just pull it off like this. I don't know if they show you how to do it, but basically I found out if you push it in these sides, you can pop it right off. So you have this as your connection. As far as I can tell, you're not going to get it to work any other way to connect to something except for like that, which makes it a little awkward because, well, I mean, there's lots of brackets and stuff, but if you were to use this in a mock, you do have options to actually have it well connected, which I think is a big positive. But there's one other thing with this clear part. So these parts, I believe, are supposed to pop in here, right? And then we'll pop the other one here. And then when they show it, basically this is going here, and it's like that. So that will actually should give you, I don't think, so these don't work, but I think there's plates that are circular that will work with that. So you'll be able to use that, excuse my congestion, to actually have connection points, 2 on each side, or well, 1 on each side, and that would be, you know, however many studs that circular part is. I don't think these will work. Yeah, there's like tension on those type of parts. You can kind of see they're almost like a pin there. But basically how this connects is it uses this part. And basically you put it there, and then you just pop one of these on here, right? And it, as far as I can tell, holds really good. So, but then you're actually, you know, clipping it like this. That's the whole headset thing, which doesn't interest me. What interests me is the parts. So this is going to be a way to connect to here, complete with, you know, how this pops on there. Another thing that's kind of interesting is that this part works with these type of parts. So what we can do here is we can pop that on here, put this here, and then just place that on there. So instead of using all those fancy connections, and we actually kind of have it in here. And it works on varying degrees, but you can actually somewhat use it. You might have to raise it up depending on what you have going on around it. But so if you want an easy way to kind of connect this, now as you can see, it's not perfect. It's slightly loose, but that'll give you a different way to connect this weird thing, which is similar material to the dots bands. It feels a little different though. You can see we have kind of some, you know, grip type addition there, maybe just detail. But this can somewhat be used for a Lego type part, because you can, like I showed you those connections, you can do that with this. They're not too stretchy, a little bit. So some people might find uses for these, maybe more than the bracelets, because there's not as much, you know, weird stud and holes going on. So this could be a texture that people could want. There's more weird pieces in here. So to add to the cover, we basically have this part which they use to cover it. And again, that's the exact same profile as the Super Mario parts. And pretty much it's just a plate with rounded corners. This is an aqua, which is kind of a nice color for it. Not too special, but it is a different part. You can't get this anywhere else. And like I said, it works exactly with those Super Mario parts, which I found pretty interesting. There's more weird parts. So this is kind of your display platform for your character. And yes, I will actually get to the character. As you can see, there's a lot of connections. I did test a bar in here and those do not work. However, you can stick a bar into these open kind of studs. Obviously not deep, but it does work. And otherwise, this is kind of just like a character display. I have a mini doll here, so you basically can just put your character there and they're displayed there. You can also put anything you want there. Gosh, slippery. There's no connections on the back here. There is these connections here, which I think they kind of just literally designed to be like this, but use your imagination and be creative. As you can see, there's also connections on the bottom, so you could place it on a plate as so. So this random weird part has lots of connections. I don't know if I should call it a big bracket, because it kind of is. But yeah, it's just interesting. And then with that, we get the like door type parts. So basically that, and then they can go in like that. They can't go towards the back. I did play around with that a little bit. You can kind of have them on the side or backwards, I should say. But like, I couldn't get them to go towards the back adequately. I think it's because you can see how it's rounded and it's not rounded in the back. So these use the exact same hinges that they've been starting to make a lot of. So very interesting to see that. This could be useful almost as possibly a door, or you know, wings. A nice, you know, it's a nice connection. Those hinges are nice. I like them. These are kind of weird on this part, but you do get two of these here. And yeah, just an interesting part. I don't know if I'd call it a big bracket or not, but that's what that is. So let's look at her actual minifigure. And I'll kind of put it together without the hair, but we will look at the hair. So this is a candy mermaid, and as you can see, the mermaid tail is exactly like a candy, or not a candy, but a ice cream cone, kind of frosting detail there. Kind of a detailed tail there, which I think is pretty interesting. And as you can see, the torso is very vibrant and pink with a mermaid and ice cream top feel. And she looks like she has lots of makeup on, as you can see. No alternate face, however, the print does continue on the back for the torso. And it's pretty good. Unfortunately, there's no print on the bottom of that tail. And the crazy hairpiece, which might be my favorite part, you can see here is in an aqua with dark pink lines or swirls in it. And yeah, so it's a pretty nice hairpiece. Of course, I tried it on a mini doll because, you know, mini dolls are awesome. And I wish that they would have done this line as mini dolls. And I think it looks pretty good. There's maybe a little bit too much forehead going on, but I think it looks really good. You can kind of pose slightly, but obviously the hairstyle is limiting just because of itself, but it's awesome and I like it. I love the wavy type look. I think that is a fantastic hairpiece, and I hope they recolor it in a billion different colors and maybe add some more printing type on there. So this is a $20 set, and I missed one part, the guitar, which is printed. Not too special, but nice to get a printed guitar, especially in the pinkish color. Just a nice little detail thing. Obviously a bar here and bar connection on the back. My overall thoughts. Well, $20 is a lot. The one thing I can compare it to is the play cubes from Friends, or even the Ninjago type cube things. It's pretty tough, to be honest, at $20. I've heard in Europe that it's been reduced actually already, which is pretty good. But I think just looking at what we have here and everything you get, I want to say that I feel like there is a little bit more than a play cube in what we got here. Because, I mean, if you think about the play cube type part, that's effectively this. This is actually bigger somewhat than the play cube. So that right there is kind of going to tell you that it, plastic-wise, it's got more than a play cube. Value-wise, I prefer mini dolls than getting minifigures because we have billions of different kinds of minifigures. And I want to see different mini dolls. That's just me. For a $20 set, I think for an average person, they will not be wanting this because even a $20 Friends set, you're going to get 2 mini dolls. You're going to get a substantial build. And the same thing with a $20 like City or whatever other set. You're going to get a pretty good amount of stuff. You're going to get more than one figure. I mean, there was a Harry Potter one that I got, Room of Requirements, I think is what it was called. And you got like 4 minifigures, you got 2 animals, and you got like a substantial wall build. And here we get 1 minifigure. Now we get a lot of prints. So if that's something you're into, that could be a big main thing to get this. But average person probably isn't going to use this in Lego. They're probably going to struggle to use these parts. This one's probably a lot easier, but they're very specific. I know there's some great builders out there that will use these parts, and I know I can. It's awesome stuff, but I think an average type person isn't going to want that. And then this is effectively just a stand, so you're not looking at a whole lot after you take out the big pieces that are very specific and the prints. This looks like not even a $10 set. You know, the ones where like City has like a vehicle and, you know, a person, or even Friends has 2 mini dolls and a vehicle and a little side build. So I think it's a little expensive. I only wanted to get this one because this one I did kind of want, and I wanted to have one so I could check out all of these weird different parts, and because I really wanted to do this video, to be honest. So, but that's it for this video. I feel like this is a little expensive for what you get. I'd probably definitely be more excited if you got one mini doll as your character, just because there's tons of wacky mini dolls and stuff already, but like there's none for, well, not mini balls, mini figures. There's tons of them, all kinds of different stuff, and to just add more just feels meh. But if it was mini dolls, I'd be like, oh my gosh, new stuff going on that's completely different than just friends. But that's not what this is, unfortunately. But yeah, that's it for this video. I probably said that already, but I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully, I can get back into regularly making videos and checking out sets. I got sets that I can go through. Sorry if this was a long one, but it's just an interesting set. I won't be doing any more of these because there's not much more to do, and I probably won't even get any more. But yeah, thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you'll check out some more of my videos. Hopefully you found this informational, and if you made it to the end, you're incredibly awesome.